To book a discovery meeting with Michael and receive a complimentary opinion of value, you can visit us on the web at sellmycompanynow.com. That's sellmycompanynow.com, or call us at 855-637-2020. That's 855-637-2020. Here's your host, Michael D. Rubin.
Welcome to the first ever episode of Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. I'm your host, Michael D. Rubin, and I'm today going to introduce our championship deal team that we've been able to put together over a 15-year period. Just as a high-level introduction, the name of our firm is MDR Associates. We're located in Frisco, Texas, near the Star. We've been in operation since 2008 for 15 years, and our goal and our mission is to serve business owners with high integrity, high transparency, and high confidentiality at all times. The overall show, there's going to be 24 episodes this year. It'll be available on all channels, whether it be Spotify or Apple. The whole focus of the show is you as the business owner. We've been serving faithfully business owners in Texas and helping sell their company for maximum value for the last 15 years. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce our CFO, Jenny Swain. Jenny came on board about 2.5 years ago, and she helps us package the marketing, take the financial information out of a business and package it into a format that's really, really impressive. She's been a huge component of our team. And so, Jenny, why don't you tell us a little bit about how we met and where you went to school and what you do for MDR Associates. We're so happy to have you at the firm.
Thanks, Michael. Michael and I met at a gun range, actually. We were both trying to get our concealed handgun license.
License to carry.
That's right, exactly. He sat down next to me and started talking to me. And pretty soon we began talking about our professions and what we did. And I could see the wheels turning in his head.
They were turning.
I could see that he was like, oh, this could be a missing piece that I'm missing because I have this finance and accounting background. I actually owned a franchise back.
That's right. You were a business owner.
I was my own business owner for 12 years and sold out of that. And then I actually went and began trying to help other small businesses with their accounting and their finance. And so it really interested you. And so we took, about 6 months?
6 to 9 months, met a few times, just discussing your consulting practice, our firm, and how they could kind of maybe work together.
Yep, exactly. So that's how we met. I started working with him, and we've been through how many deals now? Together.
2.5 years, probably 15 to 20.
Right.
But
quite a few.
Take us back to your education. What impressed me is where you went to school and working for Rubin Consulting.
Right.
Cleaning up marketing package, cleaning up financials. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I graduated with my accounting degree from Oklahoma State University in Stillwater. And then I went out into the industry for a while. I worked in the oil and gas industry as an internal auditor for a few years. And then I went back to SMU and I got my MBA there. Focused more in finance for my MBA. Upon graduation, I took a job with what I thought was PricewaterhouseCoopers, and they ended up selling my group to FTI Consulting. So I worked at FTI Consulting for a few years, and then I moved over to Rubin Consulting. And basically my roles there, all my roles were helping big companies clean up their financial statements. They either had some sort of challenge or some sort of problem or had a restatement they needed to go through.
But following the money, kind of going through and following the money.
That's right. And these were big corporations, right? So these weren't the nitty gritty like the small businesses are. But I really was able to get my feet wet and learn a lot of stuff about how to run a business. From there, I worked as a controller for a few years for someone else. And then I left there and bought my own franchise. So built a franchise for about 12 years. It was a pre-existing business, bought it. After a couple of years, I was ready to get out. I had realized that the type of business that I was in was not really my wheelhouse and was ready to get out. But instead of selling, I actually brought in a business partner.
Nice. Sold it to a business partner, got out of that business.
Yep.
So you've walked in the business owner's shoes.
I have.
Yeah, you've been in their shoes before.
Yeah, I've been from startup all the way through to exit.
Nice.
So, yeah.
We are incredibly happy to have you at our firm.
Thank you.
You've become an integral part of the firm. Our biggest hole in our firm, we're completely sales-centric. We have top sales flight people that can play poker and get the max value for your company. But finding out where the ad backs are in the financials, the hidden ad backs to get to that maximum EBITDA, to get to the max value, you brought an incredible element. We're incredibly blessed that you're with us.
And, it's one of my favorite things to do, because getting in to meet these sellers and then find out about their business and really understand how they took it from the beginning and built it. And it's been very interesting.
Awesome. Yeah, we're gonna show an example of the marketing package that you put together, an example in there. But another part of the championship deal team was somebody that I met, about 3.5 years ago. My son introduced you and I, Tom. We were at Chamberlain's Steakhouse in the cigar room, if I remember correctly.
That's correct.
Yeah. And we met, and you showed me a business card that said MDR. And I was stunned. I said, what does MDR stand for? And what did you say?
Media-driven response.
And I thought, you know what? Whether it's meeting Jenny or meeting Tom, God works in mysterious ways. We've always wanted to do videos for all of our engagements to showcase the business, really put it at a high level. You work for Fox Television. I'll let you tell your story in a second, but without Tom doing the incredible HD 4K videos, and without Jenny putting together a really dynamic marketing package that's accurate, that finds all the ad backs for that business owner, we can't sell companies for maximum value. So Tom, give us an idea. Tell us a little bit about your background at Fox and what you do for MDR and Associates today.
Well, at Fox, I actually started as a sales manager, and from there got into TV infomercials. And I just loved it and really wrapped my arms around production. Formerly in my career, I was a news director, so I had on-air experience, and I was the host of all the infomercials that we produced all over the United States, from Honolulu Ford to Yonkers Avenue Dodge in New York City. It just was a great business and still is.
Yeah.
But when we met, the opportunity that I saw that you wanted for your potential clients made all the sense in the world to me. It's that visual, that emotional connection that video can bring. Not your part is incredibly valuable, the financials, but there's no emotion in it.
Right. So when you visual in it.
Exactly. And when you put that emotion into that package, the benefits are amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It speeds up the deal. It actually, you get more value. It has been an amazing ride.
It's great that you say that, and you have an incredible track record in the television industry, producing shows, producing infomercials, and you've done 12, 13 videos for us, and we've sold most of those companies. From max value here in Texas, and it's been incredible to see the response from buyers, whether it be individual buyers, private equity, family offices. They say two things. Number one, we've never seen a company packaged as professionally as you do at MDR Associates, and I want to thank the two of you for that. And secondly, they tell us that your deal went to the top of their list because of the professional marketing package, because we did a 4K HD video on site with drone footage, which we'll show you, and being able to meet the principal without going to the business. It's invaluable.
That's that emotional connection. You get, as a prospect looking for a company to buy, you get to know the owner of the business. You hear his voice, you see him. He's talking about it. You're emotionally engaged.
That's right. And so what I'd like to do is talk to the business owner. Why would you tune in to sell your company for maximum value here in Texas? Well, there's probably 3 reasons that is super important. Number one, there's not a lot of information out there on how to sell your company. What's the process? How long does it take? What are the fees involved? What type of individuals or deal team? We like to use the word deal team. And actually, with signing Ed Too Tall Jones and Randy White, the ex-Cowboys as ambassadors and partners, we're calling it the championship deal team. And so you'll hear that throughout the show. But your benefit is to really understand what the process is. When you start approaching retirement age, this summer I took a shot. I just said, you know what, I'm going to write my first book. And I'm going to write it for the business owner. I'm going to write in this book 14 easy to read chapters. I had a doctor, OBGYN, that we're selling his practice. He read this in 2 days. He came back to me, said, this thing did 2 things for me. He said, number one, I now know I can sell my business. I have the confidence. I'm excited to sell my business for maximum value. Number 2, I know who I want to use. And so that was music to my ears. I thought, well, that's fantastic. But even if you don't use MDR Associates, what we're trying to do is get the information to the business owner so they can make an educated decision, right?
Absolutely.
Why are you doing the marketing package, Jenny? You're doing it so that they can get that. They know exactly what it looks like in terms of low to high value. We call that the strike zone.
Right.
And so everything in here is 14 chapters. I'm going to take a second, just read these chapters. Chapter 1, stop making the donuts. Chapter 2, timing is everything. Chapter 3, don't do it alone. Chapter 4, selecting the right M&A firm. Chapter 5, put your buyer hat on. Chapter 6, surround yourself with experts. Chapter 7, 10-step unique process. Chapter 8, the art of finding the perfect buyer. Chapter 9, when the magic happens. Chapter 10, negotiating the letter of intent. Chapter 11, due diligence, navigating the landmines. Chapter 12, lawyers, deal makers versus deal breakers. Chapter 13, closing and transition, proceed with caution. Chapter 14, the next season of your life. We're going to actually go through all chapters of the book, 14 chapters in the 24 episodes, because it really takes you through the process. Number 2, timing is everything. When do you want to sell, right? People, business owners in Texas and all over the country, they think, when do I want to sell? I want to sell. You really want to sell when 3 things are in line. Number 1, market timing is good. Number 2, your financials are in order. They're clean. We've done maybe some pre-consulting with the business owner. We do that as well. Get the financials cleaned up, right, Jenny? That's right. And then the third thing is emotionally. Emotionally, you just have to be ready. And some of you listening are probably starting to get ready. We don't care if we meet you 5 years before you want to exit, 3 years before you want to exit, or 3 months. We just want to meet you. And so we're honored that we're launching the show. We're launching it not for us. We're launching for you. We're launching this show and this for the next 12 months, 24 episodes for the business owner.
To book a discovery meeting with Michael and receive a complimentary opinion of value, you can visit us on the web at sellmycompanynow.com. That's sellmycompanynow.com, or call us at 855-637-2020. That's 855-637-2020. Sell your company for maximum value.
One of the more interesting things we're going to offer to business owners in the next year, every quarter, is the ability to come meet Ed Too Tall Jones and Randy White. You know, it took us about 6 months to negotiate a partnership with them, and they're coming on. And as a result of those sports icons coming on to MDR Associates, we're actually calling our team now the Championship Deal Team. We watched the Cowboys the other day. Very disappointing. We haven't had a championship in Dallas for 28 years, but with Too Tall and Randy around, we feel like we actually have a championship team, even though we haven't experienced it in almost 3 decades. So what we're going to put together is 2 things. Number 1, twice a year, we're going to do a lunch and learn for business owners. And we're going to special date out. It'll max at 15 to 20 business owners. It'll be in a special area of the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco, their world headquarters. I'm a member there, and so we'll have 15 to 20 business owners come in. We're going to go over about 45 minutes to an hour worth of information, have a great lunch, and most importantly, get to meet Ed Too Tall Jones and Randy White. So look forward to the 2 dates on the podcast, and be sure to register through the link on the podcast for that, and we'll have someone reach out to you and get you registered for that event. That's twice a year. It's going to be a lunch and learn called Sell Your Company for Maximum Value, with a PowerPoint, a lunch, and most importantly, you get to meet Ed Too Tall Jones and Randy White, and they'll be signing some books and footballs, and it'll be a lot of fun. Secondly, we're going to have the M&A Networking Hour. Now, we've been doing this for probably 10 years. I remember we started at Chamberlain Steakhouse. We went to Double Eagle Steakhouse in Frisco. We're going to do that also at the Cowboy Club, and that'll be about once a quarter. And Randy and Too Tall will be there. We'd love you to come up and meet those ambassadors and partners of MDR Associates. And then the final thing is the second episode in 2 weeks will be with Randy and Too Tall in studio. And so you're not going to want to miss the next episode of Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. Tom, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Since we met, you've done about 13 or 14 videos. Take us through what a business owner would, because some of them are leery about coming into their manufacturing facility, their distribution center, their office, and you're in there kind of, and the employees are wondering, why are you there? And tell us how you've gotten over that hurdle, because I think you've done a great job with that.
Well, it starts basically with putting that client at ease, and they're concerned with, they don't want their employees to know they're selling the company. So I start handling that right away with what I call a pre-production meeting over the phone. I do 2 pre-production meetings. The first one's over the phone, and I address that concern, and I address it again when I go to my second pre-production meeting, which is basically scoping out the location of the business and seeing all that they have. What am I going to be filming while
Perfect.
I'm there with my crew?
Puts them at ease.
Yeah, so that happens right away. But also they have questions. What should I wear? What about this? Should we show this? And we go through all of that. But through the course of those 2 pre-production meetings, everything's handled.
Perfect.
So when we show up, we have not had any shoot at a business location that went longer than 4 hours.
Great.
The first hour is the interview, and they love getting that over with because they're nervous, just like we're nervous right now being on camera. It's the same thing for somebody who doesn't do this for a living. So they're scared, they want to know what to wear, all that kind of stuff. But then once that's done, it's a piece of cake after that because we're just basically running around doing B-roll to support and show as we're going through the business. Michael, you talk to me about what you want to show.
Sure, we do the 20 questions.
Absolutely. We work on the question list together.
We work together.
Those are the questions I ask during the interview of that client.
Well, you've done a phenomenal job. Everything you've done. I mean, I get so many compliments about you, Tom, and we're going to show an example of a company we sold called Hughes Tank. And that video, it's about 3 minutes long, we're going to show right now, is just absolutely spectacular. Your finished work is spectacular.
Well, and I got to give you a lot of credit too, because of the way you've set this up with the clients and the way you want to work. The amazing part of this, I'm in the video production space for a living for over 30 years, and we never have any revisions. What is that all about?
That's a testament not to me, Tom. That's a testament to you.
Well, I think it's planning on both our parts. I mean, you're involved in the planning of the video.
You've been a huge blessing to MDR Associates.
It's amazing.
And how we can showcase these different businesses. And on the flip side, Jenny, how much fun have you had working with us for 2 years? I've had a lot of fun working with you.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been so much fun. Getting to know these sellers, understanding their businesses. It's fun to dig in, and we try to make it as painless as possible for them. We start with just some pretty standard documents, right? Business profile, send us your financials, things like that. Yes, not intimidating, things they look at and think about every single day.
Yep.
And then as we get further into building the marketing package, I'll start asking a little more detailed questions. I'll ask them things about, what's this line item on your income statement? Is it potentially a one-time? Is it an add back? Is it something that
I see all of those emails.
Right.
I'm amazed at the questions. You're going back and forth with the business owner, and you're really getting to the bottom line, the truth.
Right.
We're truth tellers in what we do. That's what we do. We want to get to the truth. I know you're certainly,
Honestly.
She does my books too, folks, so she gets to the truth no matter what.
Sometimes you get really upset with me in the questions I ask.
No, I'll always tell you the truth. You know that.
Oh, I know you do.
I always tell you the truth. I'm sure some businesses already don't, but I always tell you the truth.
Thank you. Yeah, and the other way we try to make it easy on these sellers is through this diligence process. So once we've identified a buyer,
signed LOI. I've got a signed LOI.
Signed LOI.
Set up the data room.
That's when the big process starts, right? That's when kind of we get into the nitty gritty.
That's right.
Every buyer is a little different. They may have a bank that they're having to answer to. They may be a private equity firm, which is way more complicated than if you're just with
their team. But private equity, for those of you that don't know, they're just professional buyers that they've raised money. And they're going to outmaneuver, and they're smart. These guys are super smart in the private equity. I have a lot of respect for them, but they vote by committee on a deal before they put in an LOI.
Right.
And typically they're a little harder in due diligence, right?
Right. And I think one of the things that I really pride ourselves on is we try to make it simple for the seller, right?
Yep.
We try to keep the communication between us and the buyer versus always having to go to the seller for everything. Right. So we set up the data room for them that a buyer might need. And then we facilitate all the information flow, which I think is very helpful.
Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, between the video and the marketing package and the way that we give an update to business owners, our process is to call them every Friday, right? In 2 days, I'm going to call a current deal I'm working. It's a steel recycling business. And I'm going to call the owner and give them an update on how all the buyers that have inquired and what we're going through and what we're doing. And so a lot of times in our space, a business broker, an M&A advisor will take a listing and you won't know what's going on. Literally, they'll put it on the websites.
It happened to me.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Tell us about that. Tell us about that situation.
So the franchise that I bought a couple of years in, like I said, I had kind of decided that this wasn't the industry or the market that I wanted to be in. And I was looking for a way out. I was looking for an exit. I was ready to move on and do something different. And so I contacted a broker. Don't even remember the names. Don't even remember the name of the firm at all. I remember having one meeting with them, providing them some financials, and I think they listed and never really heard from them again. Yeah, it's a very hands-off process.
You don't even know, you don't know, you have no idea what's happening.
Right.
There's a success fee at the end, and if they're successful, they get paid, but you don't know the process. I think the process is very important. I think the number one question I've gotten over the times, over the 15 years that we've been in business is, what's your process? That's really the driving factor of wriing the book, Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. Yeah. This details in chapter 10, I believe it's chapter 10, chapter 7, the 10-step unique process. Right on our website, it's sellmycompanynow.com, www.sellmycompanynow.com. You can go click on our unique process, or just listen to the podcast in the future on chapter 7, and we're going to go over the process. The process is important. What we tried to do at MDR Associates is just refine our process a little bit each year and simplify the process. It's a daunting process to sell your business. As a business owner, you built a business for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. You built it up. You have no idea how to sell it. Everyone knows how to sell a house. You call a realtor that has a great track record, maybe in your neighborhood. They come with comps. They put it on the MLS, and people are competing for it immediately. As a business owner selling your company, there hasn't been many resources on how to do that effectively. And there's 1,000 ways to exit. There's 100%, 80%. There's promissory notes, there's earnouts. On this show, we're going to go into all of those things so that business owners know, okay, there's a resource called Sell Your Company for Maximum Value show or podcast on all the platforms. It'll be on Apple, right? It'll be on Spotify, all the platforms. Just look it up. Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. We're going to go through all the different scenarios or possible ways to exit. So I'm going to throw it back to you, Jenny. In all the meetings that you and I have been in, isn't it been amazing to see the different ways somebody can exit, the structures, how long they stay, and when is it all cash? Is it seller financing? And is it SBA loan?
Exactly. And you're so creative with it. You know, we'll think, there's no way out of this. We're just never going to come to an agreement. And then all of a sudden you throw something out and I'm like, where'd that come from? And that's amazing.
well, you can only be good at one or two things, right? And everyone's told me my entire career, I can get to yes, but I don't do anything else well. So that's my part of the team. I try to stay in my lane, be creative, find a way to get to yes, put a structure together that's a win for who? The seller, the buyer, and I say the Lord.
Yes.
We're a Christian firm. That just means we're high integrity, high transparency, high confidentiality at all times. We've sold businesses that were, the business owner was Muslim. We've sold businesses where the business owner was an atheist. We're not a Christian firm that is that elitist. We're better. No. We want to love everyone the way we want to be loved. We want to treat everyone the way we want to be treated. And I'll tell you, that's what separates us in the marketplace. Really, when you boil it down, your heart, I've seen your heart with business owners, and it's amazing.
No, thank you.
You know numbers, and you know how to put all the numbers together. But everyone always, when they leave you, our clients, here's what they say: I love Jenny. Jenny's awesome.
Well, I enjoy people, but also at the same time, I've been in their shoes, right? I mean, I understand what they're going through and how they've built this thing up, and they're ready to exit, and they're a little lost. And,
Same with you, Tom. You've been incredible. You've been absolutely incredible. We're going to move on right now to the end of the show, and we're going to tell you how to get a hold of us, right? But thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. You're the first guests on the first pilot episode of the show. And so, we work together every day, and I feel blessed and honored to work alongside the both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So as a business owner, if you want to actually get a hold of us, you want to find out, here's the thing. You don't know if you want to sell until you know what you're worth. So the question is, do you want to sell your business if you're approaching retirement age and you're 50, 55, 60, maybe 65 or 70? That's not the question. The question is, do you want to find out the value of your business? That's the question. Because you don't know if you want to sell until you know what you're worth. I'm Michael Rubin with Sell Your Company for Maximum Value. And until next week, be blessed.
To book a discovery meeting with Michael and receive a complimentary opinion of value, you can visit us on the web at sellmycompanynow.com. That's sellmycompanynow.com, or call us at 855-637-2020. That's 855-637-2020. Sell your company for maximum value.